Okay, good day, guys. Good day to you all. Welcome back to the Formula Sports channel. Thanks for being here. A gentle reminder, as always, you guys can show the channel some love and support by smashing the like button. And if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. These are free and easy ways to support the channel. And as always, the channel has received a lot of support and we are grateful. This is a story that I thought you guys would be interested in because I know you guys would be very interested in, you know, any particular story that would be relating to or could potentially be relating to our World Cup qualifying campaign, right? This is a story that is particularly of interest to us if our national team grabs the fourth place playoff spot. So, you have the automatic 3, and then you have that fourth place playoff spot that we would be involved in a qualifying game with the representative from Oceania. Now, and I figured you guys would be interested in news pertaining to what is taking place across the pond. Well, I shouldn't even say across the pond, because there are a lot of water bodies and continents between us and the Oceania region, but in that part of the world, right? So their World Cup qualifying tournament, right? News has come out that their World Cup qualifying tournament is set for March, right? And New Zealand is taking some issue. In particular, their coach is taking some issue with this qualifying tournament, right? Now, the issue at hand, and I'm going to read the article to you guys in a second. The issue at hand is that New Zealand is saying that they will be placed at a disadvantage, right? Because part of the tournament is not being played in a World Cup, in a FIFA window. So part of the tournament will be in the FIFA window, part of it will not be in the FIFA window, right? And what New Zealand is saying is that we're at a disadvantage because our team has the most professionals, right? And, it's going to be very challenging, if impossible, right, to get these clubs to release these players to come and play this tournament for us, right? How that is a big news to us now is that New Zealand is the top dog in Oceania, right? They are, it's these tournaments for New Zealand is kind of a mere formality. They are usually the team that always comes out on top, right? The issue though is that New Zealand's the potential for New Zealand to be significantly weakened. It is a massive potential that New Zealand could be significantly weakened. Now, if New Zealand is weakened, that will now create opportunities for other teams in Oceania to potentially come through. The thing with that is that would benefit us, Jamaica, if we grab that fourth place spot. Because if another team comes through and it is not New Zealand, then our spot to Qatar would basically be booked, right? Because, come on. Come on, right? The thing about it is that if New Zealand was supposed to still come through the qualification round, they would strengthen, right? Because the World Cup qualifiers will be taking place, but in terms of the playoff spots, it would be taking place in a FIFA window, right? So if they come through the Oceania qualifiers, they would strengthen, and so we would have to play a full strength New Zealand team. New Zealand is a team that if we were to grab that fourth spot, it's a team that we should beat, but it's not a team that we should take lightly. We should take no team lightly. But if New Zealand cannot get its players for the upcoming Oceania qualifying tournament, there could be problems for them, Could it weaken them to the point that they don't get out of the Oceania group? It's a possibility. And if another team was to grab that spot from Oceania, if another team apart from New Zealand were to grab that spot, well, I mean, yes, we can't take them lightly, but come on, the golfing class would be so great that the ticket would automatically be booked. If we were to grab that 4th place spot, let me read the article where the New Zealand coach is slamming FIFA. New Zealand coach slams FIFA over World Cup qualifying tournament. The 19 tournament will be staged in Qatar from March the 14th to March the 30th, right? The FIFA window is March the 21st to March the 29th, guys. So the first part of the Oceania tournament will be played outside of a FIFA window, and that will be the group stages of the Oceania tournament will be played outside of the FIFA window. To decide which team advances to a playoff against the 4th placed side from CONCACAF, which features nations from North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. New Zealand's coach Danny Hay has criticized FIFA for scheduling part of the Oceania's World Cup qualifying tournament outside the international window, saying it could not happen to any other region. The 19 tournament will be staged in Qatar from March the 14th to March the 30th to decide which team advances to a playoff against the 4th place team from CONCACAF. World governing body FIFA has given the Oceania nations a 1-day extension to the March the 21st to the 29th international window, but they will have to haggle with clubs to release players during the first week of the tournament. Guys, the first week of the tournament, from what I'm seeing, will have the group stages of the Oceania qualifiers, and then you would have a next round of fixtures. After you'd have the group stages, the top is 2 groups. The top 2 from each group will play a semifinals, then a finals, right? And you know what? This not only, here's the thing about it, right? Because if, you know, when the FIFA window starts, and the FIFA window starts on March the 21st. So it will be a week. The tournament in the Oceania tournament would have started from the 14th of March. That's a big problem because New Zealand it will be highly likely that New Zealand will not have a lot of their best players for the group stages of the Oceania qualifiers, and that's a big deal. Could it weaken them to the point where they don't get out of the group? That is the issue. Players like Chris Wood from Burnley would be affected. Would Burnley want to release him in the middle of a Premier League campaign? I highly doubt that. Right? They have players playing in some decent leagues, the MLS, the Belgian Pro League. Will these clubs want to release these players? New Zealand is disproportionately impacted by the scheduling, given it has more players at professional clubs than their Pacific rivals. This would happen nowhere else in the world, he told New Zealand media. Right? For me, under our players, it's highly disappointing. New Zealand were the last Oceania team to qualify for the World Cup when they made the finals, the 2010 finals in South Africa. They have been drawn in Group B of the Oceania tournament against New Caledonia, Fiji, and Papua New Guinea. Every single player that I've called up to date is a professional player. They're operating in professional environments, but clubs aren't going to be willing to hand over their players in the middle of the tournament. He said, it's a tough one to swallow that we are not going to have the opportunity to bring our best players together to give us the best opportunity to qualify. So guys, again, for the group stages of this Oceania qualifying tournament, it is highly likely that New Zealand will not have their best players. And that is the issue at hand. Can they still get out of the group stages? Can they still get out of the group stages, right? Without, right? If clubs like Burnley don't release Chris Wood, right? If clubs like they have a player that plays in the Belgian Pro League for a club called Saint Trudine, I think is the name of the club, right? Will that club release its player? Right? You know, so, you know, they have a player that plays for at Swansea. Will Swansea release its player? And I mean, all of their players are professionals. None of these, you know, these clubs, the thing, I mean, even outside of, even in FIFA windows, national teams have issues getting here. I mean, we all know the drama even with our national team. Even in FIFA windows, clubs don't want to release these players. So imagine when it is out of a FIFA window. And then even when the players are released on the 21st, it's going to take them a while to fly to the destination where the tournament is being held, the Oceania tournament is being held. It's going to take the players a while to settle, right? Will New Zealand's professionals settle in time and settle sufficiently enough for the upcoming games in the final round of fixtures if they get out of the group stage? And then also the final of the Oceania tournament is being played on the 30th. The FIFA window runs from the 21st to the 29th. The FIFA window runs from the 21st to the 29th. So basically, it is looking like it's only for the semi-finals. New Zealand might have its full squad available to them. It's looking like they might not have their full squad for the group stages and for the final. So even if they get out of the group and they get to the semis, they have their full squad for the semi-finals. It is looking like they won't have their full squad for the final. So even if they do get to the final, you know, it might not be their full squad. Will they get out of Oceania, right? And if they don't, will the team that will play the fourth place, will it significantly weaken the Oceania representative? Will it significantly weaken the Oceania representative? Guys, we need to grab that fourth spot. At the very least, some interesting developments taking place over in Oceania. Right, so guys, you know, that's the main headline. Oceania kingpins, New Zealand, might be significantly affected by part of the Oceania qualifiers being played out of a FIFA window. Will New Zealand emerge or will it be a much weaker team? That's left to be decided. So guys, again, stay safe, take care, smash the like button on our way out, guys. And until next time, guys, stay safe.